like, is this something on the fucking social media? I don't know. Like, you're gonna get stoned smoking Cheetos, and
I have never
sounds like your daughter, Cindy.
they're not the brightest, okay? Not gonna lie, I love them little girls, but damn. Nah, they're all right. My daughter's trucking along in the city. She's making her way. You know, they're doing. You know, I did one thing right, and it was those two. So I don't know. I pulled that shit off. So,
amen.
You know, yeah, but. Yeah, I mean, they did some dumb shit. Like my youngest, I mean, my oldest, how many times I wanted to kill her for coming home. So like her friends used to have to like sit her on the porch and ring the doorbell. And there's Alexa, like, oh, so much. But it was always, you know, the next morning, I can't find my keys. I left my wallet here. I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so glad those days are over. And she was drinking age, Sam. So trust me, it doesn't stop.
No, of course not. I mean, I have yet to grow up and stop being a hellion myself in many ways. So, I mean, my kids have no.
Yeah. So
they're going to be.
So Jen, let's hear your story. You've got a story.
What do you want to hear about?
Let's see. You said you go if the news is
Key West.
Yes. And then I want to get to Margaret's got a story about a page she was on. She's going to talk some shit. So, yeah.
Yeah. So we used to be in Key West every week. And there's the Navy base, the Navy Academy. I don't know. The Navy boats part. Yeah. So whatever. The Navy guys are always in town partying. So one night we went to, if you've been to Key West, you know it's like crazy party town. So we went to the Naked Bar one night, and then we went to a strip club, and we were hanging out with these naked guys. So I left with one. Now remember, I'd been at a lot of bars. So whatever, we're like messing around in the street and stuff. So there's an RV parked in a parking lot. So I was like, oh, we'll just use this RV for the night. I'm trying to break the door. Oh my God. I'm trying to break the door. Is Lily still there? Send Lily away. Don't let Lily.
She's gone. She got the boot. It's all good.
So I was trying to break. So whatever. Thank God he pulled me away. And I think the door was locked. So I couldn't actually get into the RV. So he pulled me away. So anyways, we wound up on the beach. And he was wearing a cowboy hat. And so we did whatever on the beach. And then his cowboy hat blew along the sand. And some cop comes wandering down the beach with his cowboy hat.
No.
He's like, sir, I think you lost this. Get up, you two, get dressed. I think the only saving grace is that I was Canadian. And I feel like it was an awful lot of paperwork for him to do. So he's like, just get out of here.
Oh, boy.
Then,
that's hilarious.
Your cruise ship days, Jen. I mean, the stories.
We'll pretend it was like way later, but it was probably only a couple weeks because we didn't do that Key West run for very long. There was another Navy guy another night, and we wound up going to some hotel swimming pool, like an outdoor pool. And the guy running the hotel comes out, starts screaming at us that he's going to call the cops. And we're like, it's okay, we'll leave. He's like, no. He's like, you have to rent a room and pay for a room or I'll call the cops.
Oh my gosh. So did you rent one?
We wound up renting two because my friend Deb was with another Navy guy. So we each got rooms. I was frozen by this time. This guy, which I'm sure very nice gentleman Navy man, he's like, I'll run you a bathtub. Runs this bath. He's pulling me into the bathroom. He's trying to shove me into the bathtub. At this point, he might have been trying to kill me. I'm not sure. The bathtub, he had only filled it with like hot water. Like it was like scalding hot water. And I'm like holding myself back against the wall. And he's like, no, just get in the bathtub. Just get in the bathtub. You'll warm up. Didn't get in the bath. Anyways, but my friend Deb, a couple of days, it might have even that day. Anyways, she had given herself a bikini wax, but ran out of time and she only got half of it done. So one side is all nice and like cleaned up, and the other side looks like the 70s.
Oh no.
And so she hooks up with this guy, and after, she's like, listen, I'm really, really sorry about the situation down there. And he's like, what do you mean? And she's like, well, like that it's only half wax. Like I ran out of time. I'm sorry. He's like, oh, I thought it was some new cool European thing.
Oh my God.
I'm so, this is my extent with American men.
I'd like to apologize on behalf of American men.
I think Jen and her people need to apologize because American men now think Canadians have half wax biscuits.
Still tease her about it.
It's like, never mind the Canadian tuxedo. Now we have the Canadian wax job.
The Canadian wax job.
Freaking crazy. So Sam, you're not following the truckers?
No, I have not seen, unless I'm not understanding what you mean by that. What is it?
So Biden said no unvaccinated truckers can come into the States. So then Trudeau said, okay, then no unvaccinated American truckers can come into Canada. The Canadian truckers freak out. They're like, no, we're going to lose all this money, blah, 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 blah. So they've started in Vancouver, and they're collecting more and more trucks as they go. And by Saturday, they're supposed to be in Ottawa, and they're going to like do some big trucker protest at Capitol Hill. And they're saying it's going to be like your January 6th Parliament thing. Oh no, we're Parliament. What do you call it? Yours is Capitol Hill. Ours is Parliament.
Mm-hmm.
As of today, there's 70 kilometers. You guys don't use kilometers, do you?
Miles, but
I'll Google it. This line of trucks is 70 kilometers long.
You know, it sounds like all lot lizards need to immediately report to Ottawa because there's going to be big business to be had.
45 miles long is this like line of trucks, and they keep picking up more and more as they go. But the numbers keep getting skewed. First, they were expecting 35,000 trucks. And then some guy did the math, and he's like, there's not even 35,000 trucks in Canada. Like, there's just no way. And it's the population, 90% of our population is fully vaccinated. So it just doesn't make sense that there's going to be that many. So then it was like 150,000 trucks, but they hit Kenora today, which is the very tip of Ontario, coming in from Manitoba. And there's like a ton of Americans that have come up and joining them. One guy is from Michigan or something. He has like his 12-year-old. He's pulled him out of school to join this stupid trucking rally. And everybody's just like, what the fuck? Now, I live off one of the second busiest highways in Canada. It's like 2 minutes from my house, the top of my street. You can actually see the highway. So I was hoping they'd come through here because I want to go watch, but they're detouring some different back road. Isn't that insane though?
That is absolutely insane. And they're going to do, what is the plan when they reach Washington, D.C. exactly?
They're not going to Washington. They're going to Ontario. They're going to
Americans are going into Canada.
Oh, yeah. You're all up here. They're joining the parade.
Well, of course, because, you know, our crazies have to just horn in on everything. That's zero shot. And the big plan is what? To burn all your gas and go sit there?
Well, and that's what they said. Like, okay. Oh, and then they have a GoFundMe. The GoFundMe is up to like $5 million. So the idea of the GoFundMe was to like cover all their like expenses along the way, like to buy food and gas. And because they're obviously not doing real trucking along the way, so they're losing their money they're not paying for this week. GoFundMe was like, no. This sounds scammy. Full hold on your GoFundMe account.
Yeah, we're not going to fund your insurrection, your Canadian trucking insurrection.
Unless you get an accountant and a lawyer involved, we're not releasing this money, and it's all being refunded to the people who donated.
Oh my God. What is wrong with people? I am baffled. And frankly, I expected better of our northern neighbors. I really expected better.
Point, we can't wax and we can't drive a truck.
Obviously, damn. Yeah, I had not heard a thing about this, and I'm not shocked, and yet I am, because when is this crap gonna stop? Like, what? It's just getting dumber and dumber. We're turning into like a parody of life with a bunch of truckers all.
If 5 years ago somebody had done a movie about us being locked up for 2 years and like people like storming the US and the Canadian capitals, everybody would be like, oh my God, like it's Borat movie. And this is like real life. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what do they think is gonna happen? I don't know.
Stay tuned Saturday. Saturday they're here in Ottawa. We shall see how this plays out.
Oh my word.
All right. So I do have, all right. I'm just looking this story up now. Why the hell did Adele cancel her entire residency at Caesar's?
Because they put a swimming pool in.
Okay. This is insane to me that Adele couldn't get through rehearsal, made sobbing calls to Rich Paul. That's her boyfriend. I guess he's like a sports agent or something. So I just watched the brief clip that she went on crying on, like it was her Instagram or something, telling everybody and apologizing. I think they said, did they say Keith Urban is going to take over the residency there at this point? I don't know. But I can't believe she sold, you know what? Some of those tickets were going for 20, 30,000. Like it was insane.
What I think is more insane is that nobody asked her if she wanted to stand in a swimming pool and sing.
Okay, but
like who builds a swimming pool on a stage and doesn't run it by the chick and be like, hey, we're gonna do this? She shows up, she's like, what the frick, I'm not getting in a swimming pool.
Well, wait, did they actually want her?
As far as I know, the stage has a swimming pool built in it, and she was expected to get in this pool with water and sing.
That is the most asinine thing I've ever heard.
Which, whatever, if it's like Katy Perry, she's doing crazy stuff and everything.
I mean, I guess I'd have to see it. Like, what exactly are we talking about here?
Some people spent as much as $9,000 on tickets or more. They said that this show was only, which for me, I'm like, I could give a fuck. But she basically was just performing for the rich and famous. Like that's all that was showing up to these shows, because the tickets were ungodly expensive. Like it was something insane.
Okay. Now, were they supposed to be that expensive, or was this a price gouging?
No, this was all gouging. Like they just bought them up, but I think they were expensive to begin with, but not like that. Okay, so tensions, over an on-stage water feature that Adele described the pool as a baggy old pond and refused to stand in the middle of it. The intention was to fill it with water on the sides, and she was to be lifted up on a crane mechanism to create the illusion she was floating in the water. So, but so now instead of them losing millions and millions of dollars, why didn't they just say, okay, you don't have to do that? I think they were trying, but I'm like, you know what? People were going to pay that just to see boring old ass Adele stand there with a microphone and sing. Like, I don't understand why they were trying to make it like this huge production, because I feel like people didn't give a shit anyway that bought these tickets. You know what I'm saying? Like
maybe I'm way off base here. Don't get me wrong. I love Adele. I think her music is great.
But I'm not she's not entertaining to go sit and watch.
I mean, Britney Spears tickets weren't even that much. Neither were Celine Dion, and I don't put Adele on the level of either of them. You know what I mean? Like she's a really good singer and she's very successful and popular, but like